acting with my hands thrust down my pants. This year, you're going to do all those things that you promised to do when you have the time. Let's see. Consummate marriage. Nah, that's more of a do-it-yourself job. You gonna miss me, honey?
Well, I can't until you leave.
Well, you know, I left you plenty of food. It's at the supermarket.
You didn't tell Dad your family was coming.
Well, he never warns me when he is. So I feel like I owe him nothing. Now, Kelly, honey, on this very special occasion, I want you to wear the dress that I wore on the happiest day of my life. Unfortunately, the football team kept it. But I do have my wedding dress, and it is very nice, too. When I first read the script of Married with Children, Peg Bundy was written to be sort of like a slouchy housewife, a couch potato, didn't take very good care of herself, and just kind of a mess. And I felt like I wanted to put a little spin on her and doll her up a little bit, because I felt from reading the script that these two people spoke so meanly to each other that there had to be something kind of zippy going on too. So I dressed her up, and I went to the audition, and I wore this kind of very sexy house dress, sort of Donna Reed, you know, a sexy Donna Reed. And I wore, but I added some different things, and I had my hair on top of my head, and I wore these very funny glasses. And so I kind of, and I wore high heels, I remember that. So she looked a little more dolled up than what they'd written. And at the time, I didn't know if they were going to go for that at all. I just sort of, you know, threw my own little spin on it. You know, I made her, I think I made her a little bit more fun than maybe they envisioned, and they liked me. I mean, they kept having me back. $500,000 for this? I don't get it. But then I haven't been getting it for 20 years, so what's the difference? I'm personally a woman that likes to take care of myself. And, you know, I'm concerned with how I look, and I like my hair to be, you know. And I thought Peg was very vain. I mean, she really, I think she was one of those women that wore her makeup to bed, or never let her husband see her without it. You know, which always struck me funny. I remember reading an article about Tammy Faye Baker, and that's what she did. Like, she'd always wear those big eyelashes. So I thought that was Peg. I thought her hair should always be perfectly coiffed. You know, this is within the confines of their kind of low-budget lifestyle. But if you look at her, she really took very good care of herself. Her nails were always done. Her clothes were nice. I think she liked being dolled up. The book says that when we feel an argument coming on, you're supposed to stop and share a nice memory. Ed O'Neill is 365 degrees different from Al Bundy. There's a few common threads, though. Ed is one of the most down-to-earth, regular guys. You know, he's not a showbiz type. So, you know, he has that quality that Al had too. But he's a very excellent actor. He's an excellent dramatic actor. And he's kind of a loner. That's what I'd say about Ed. He's a very well-read, introspective, really good guy. Funny.
Yeah, honey, you're incredible. You ignore the children, you neglect the house, and still you find time to let the dinner get cold before you serve it. How do you do?
Well, Al, I guess I care enough about me not to care about you. Well, I first met Eddie at the audition, because the process of auditioning is you go through a series of auditions. So they'll audition you several times for your part, then they'll audition the man several times, and then they'll put you together. And so you read with several different people. So when Eddie and I actually went in to read together, I knew, oh, this is the one I should be paired with. If they go with him, this will be perfect with me. So we got along immediately. Physically, we were very well matched. We're both sort of statuesque, and you know, he made me laugh. He was so funny. And just the banter, you know, it was a very fine line with those two characters because they were so adversarial in their conversation, just like a married couple can be. So you had to have a sense that they also loved each other. That's what would make it work. If they were only adversarial, you know, you wouldn't go for it. And Eddie and I just had that, maybe just because we liked each other right away. You know what I mean? So you could say mean things to each other and you have that familial sense.
So are you really sick? You're not just trying to get out of going to see my mother?
Peg, that hurt. You know how much I love that huge fat woman?
Yeah, we're really sick, Mom. I think we have Monte Cristo's revenge.
Well, Rosanna Applegate's not a dumb woman. She's, I haven't spoken to her recently, but she's a fantastic girl that took early success in her life, which, you know, a lot of kids can go down, as we see. It's not a great road. And she was very smart about it. And she always had a maturity about her, even when she was 15 years old. She had like an old soul quality. She's a really good girl, and she's been working longer than any of us. I mean, she's been working since I think she's 3. So she's been around the block. You know, she knows it's a business, and I think she's serious about it. She's a sweetheart.
I have to ask you a question. You have waited 19 years for someone to get in bed with you. Tell me, is it everything you'd hoped for? I'm just teasing you, little emotionally immersed.
You know, I've seen David over the years, and David's a very entrepreneurial guy. And he always was then, too. I remember when he went through his rapping phase, he was going to be a rapper. That was fun. He had lots of interesting characters coming to the set. And we'd watch out for him. And he was very close with Ed. I think he learned a lot from Ed. And, you know, formatively. And Ed was very protective of him.
Great job, Mr. Rhodes.
Isn't he cute?
Even squid love their young.
You know, I always felt very maternal towards Christina and David, like my kids, because they were so young. So we watched them go through everything. I mean, I think David was 11 when he started, and I think Chrissy was 14. So, you know, we watched them go through certainly all the growing pains of adolescence and their teenage years and getting driver's licenses and graduating from high school and, you know, first boyfriend, first girlfriend, all that stuff. And, you know, when you do a show like this, you become like a little family. So there's no secrets, really. You just know everybody's stuff. So with them, I'm certainly Ed and I both took a very parental view of them. We loved them. I loved when Amanda would direct. Amanda really knows how to take charge, and she's an excellent director. And I always got along great with Amanda. She, once again, one of the funniest. She could do moments on that show where she would just commit to wherever she had to go. I mean, and she'd have some of those long monologues where she'd have to, like in the middle of the monologue, kind of break into this angry rage, and she was fantastic at it.
When you go down there, and you've broken their spine, and snapped their arms like little twigs, and they're truly, truly helpless, then I'll come in. You know, I'll come in with just a mere old-fashioned can opener. And I'll do things to them that'll make the devil himself vomit.
Or we could sue.
David comes from musical theater, and I think that he really was determined to pursue that more, which he's been very successful at. And I don't think he liked the restrictions of a weekly television series, is really what I think. And so certainly that was a weird situation to have to replace a character like that, but we made it work, and Ted McGinley did a great job.
What rhymes with made you all heave and gag on your own chump?
Well, let's see. There's punks, drunks, punks.
Buck was a great addition. He was a very sweet dog. You know, anytime you work with an animal, it's more about the trainer than the animal, actually. The trainer was had his eccentric moments, but he was Steve. He was very lovely. But Buck was, and he was very concerned with the dog. Well, the truth of the replacement of Buck the dog is Buck died. I mean, for real. So we decided to have a new dog. And we got Lucky the dog, Lucky. And I think the audience reaction was fine.
Uh-oh. Those voices sound oddly familiar. If I could just get these newborn eyes to focus.
I'm your baby.
No!